Good afternoon to you. I'm Stacey Ann Providence and C News is live. Health Minister Terence Dayal Singh has called on all interest groups and the country to make the necessary sacrifices to prevent intervention from the IMF. Contributing to debate on the 2018 budget, the MP for St. Joseph said interest groups have every right to lobby on behalf of their members, but he said it is better to take one's bitter medicine because the IMF's medicine may be 10 times more bitter.
Let us work together. Because as I say, if the IMF comes, the first thing they're going to do is say fire 20% of the civil service. That is thousands of people less seeking public transport. That is thousands of people less have a paycheck at the end of the month to go to the grocery, to spend money, to go to the hardware, to repair the house, and the economy will crash.
Mr. Dayal Singh said while statistics for dengue have been declining gradually, the past year has shown the most dramatic decrease in dengue.
For 2016, we had 2,301 cases, which are suspected, probable, and confirmed. For 2017 to date, and we're in October, just 2 more months to go, we have 46. That is a huge, huge drop.
This is the C News Live Report at noon. Remember, you can keep up to date with all the latest news on our website at ctvtt.com, or you can check us out on Facebook and Twitter at C News Live. A 10-year-old girl of Los Iros has gone missing. Police are seeking the public's help to find Princess Kingston, who lives at Seaview Drive, Los Iros. She was last seen at the Rancho Quemado Primary School around 7:45 yesterday morning. Her father, Lloyd Kingston, reported her missing to the Santa Flora Police Station around 5:55 yesterday afternoon. Now, Princess is of African descent, 4 feet 11 inches tall, slim-built, dark brown complexion, and wears dreadlocks. She was last seen wearing her school uniform, a burgundy jumper, a peach-colored short-sleeved shirt, a pair of black socks, and a pair of black shoes. Now, anyone with information on the whereabouts of Princess Kingston is asked to contact the police at 999-555-911 or any police station, or call 800-TIPS. Now, this country will be represented at the 19th Students and Youth Festival in Russia from October 14th to October 22nd. Mackenzie Peters, Runako Williams, Daniil Frederick, and Brian Benoit leaves for Cuba today to connect with a chartered flight to Russia to represent Trinidad and Tobago in uniting the youth and future leaders of the generation.
It brings together youth from over 150 countries all over the world. There'll be about 20,000 youths integrating the various cultures. It will be a unique experience for us to network with youth from all over the world, not just regionally, because just recently we were the 5th Caribbean Youth Leaders Summit in Jamaica. But this time we are going to have a festival where we will be integrating with youth from all over the world.
Mackenzie Peters is hoping they'll be able to share the information and experience they will acquire at the event.
And we plan to come back and not even just talk about it from a media perspective, but basically go to the Minister of Education, Minister of Planning, Ms. Camille Robinson, basically go to our parliament and present this document where we could say, this is what was discussed in Russia. This is what we believe should be incorporated into the Vision 2030, as we believe this direction will improve the livelihoods of young people here in Trinidad and Tobago.
And taking a brief look at the weather forecast for the period this afternoon and tonight, Trinidad and Tobago, sunny conditions for the day and mostly clear night. There is the chance of afternoon showers in a few areas and the risk of an isolated thundershower favoring west coast or hilly areas. In the event of a heavy shower or thundershower, winds may become gusty and street or flash flooding is likely to occur in areas so prone. Now, seas are slight with waves 1.5 meters in open waters. They are 1 meter in sheltered areas. Budget analyst Winford James says government has not included all sectors in its deliberations, even though the country is being asked to adjust to the hard economic times. Mr. James looked at ways in which the Budget 2018 will affect the credit union movement as he addressed leaders in that industry in a seminar entitled Thought Leadership.
We talk about making the adjustments. We talk about a collaborative approach to nation saving, to the austerity that that the country is being asked to embrace, to accept. But the concept of credit union does not even one time, appear in the 2018 budget.
He said the credit unions hold $12 billion in shares and assets, yet they have been ignored by successive governmental bodies. Mr. James said this is a weakness facing the credit union movement and indeed the country, as the strengths and resources they possess are not being utilized at the national level.
And the most serious vulnerability is a lack of collaboration on the part of the government, doesn't matter whether it's PNM or UNC, a lack of collaboration with the credit union movement.
He suggested that government could partner with some credit unions which have land resources as they move to help the poor to acquire homes. Mr. James also said that the root of the credit union strength is in working to help people.
We need to have these people becoming members of our credit unions, remaining members of our credit unions, yes, and enabling us to give them loans so that they could improve their lives. Because the major motto of the credit union movement is people helping people. We really want to help people, yes? We have to teach them how to save, right? We have to teach them how the credit unions are a better place to save than the banks.
The budget analyst said it's time for a change in the country's socialization where credit unions are kept at the margin of official respect. Well, First Citizens Bank CEO Karinda Basie says the banking sector will have to adjust after the corporate tax adjustment announced in last week's budget. Speaking after the launch of the Bricks Hotel in Cascade, Mrs. Darbesi told the media First Citizens was not excluded from sharing in the burden. She added each bank will look at the situation and make adjustments as corporation tax is not the only thing that affects the bank rates.
Everyone has to share any burden at this point in time in the country, so the increase in corporation tax for the banks is something that we're going to have to live with. Contrary to popular belief, First Citizens does have minority shareholders, and we do need to look at the interests of those shareholders. So we are focusing on improving our efficiency, keeping our cost structure down and improving our revenues, and hope that we can compensate to all of our shareholders the increase in corporation tax from that perspective.
And businessman John Aboud says that businessmen will have to share in the burden as proposed by Finance Minister Com Imbe during the reading of the budget last week Monday. Speaking after the launch of the Bricks Hotel, the chairman of Superior Hotels told the media the current economic situation calls for it.
More taxes is always bad news for business people, but we have to toe the line. It is what it is, and we have to accept it and move on. I have no other comment to make on that. We're in a difficult situation, and I guess we have to share the burden. So,
well, the First Peoples community is continuing their celebrations leading up to their one-off holiday on Friday. Today, they are hosting a schools rally at the Attobolden Stadium in Couva. Janine Brown is there and shares some of what is happening at the event.
Hi, good afternoon, and good afternoon for the special good afternoon to our viewers. Now, we just finished the formal part of this morning's proceedings a short while ago. We did hear from the President, Anthony Carmona, the Minister of State in the Ministry of Education, Dr. Lovell Francis, and before the area, Mr. Rusunat Singh, and the Chief of the Factor, the First Peoples community, Mr. Ricardo Barrett Hernandez. Now, important point coming out of this morning's formal part is the President did express his desire to see the holiday that is being granted on Friday, the one-off holiday. He's hoping to see it develop into something that's granted every year or at least every other year. As he says, to treat this situation as a matter of not only something that is done in this instance, but I would take a greater pride to a greater sensitivity as the people of the relation diversity moving forward. Now, we did speak to the chief as well, and I was in the stand for most of the formal proceedings this morning and seeing the excitement and the engagement from the children from the primary level as well as up to the secondary level definitely an entertaining morning. What is happening right now, the proceedings have actually come outside where there are various tents set up. We have food, of course, of the indigenous people. We have artifacts where children are actually getting to interact with members of the First Peoples community as well. We also saw some students done the indigenous way, which was very interesting. Speaking with the chief after the formal proceedings this morning, he did express his joy in seeing the large number of children that did turn out this morning. The National Cycling Center in Hoover holds about 2,500 people, and all the seats were almost filled. So definitely a good turnout. Schools from north, south, all areas of the country. What is happening now, as I mentioned, the children are kind of delighted of visiting the tents. There are crafts, there's that sort of thing. Definitely a hub of activity at the National Cycling Center in Hoover at this time. That's all I can update us at this time. I'm not sure if you could hear in the background. There's actually some traditional music going on as well at this time. So lots of fun and activities going on at the National Cycling Center in Hoover. That's all I have for you at this time. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Janine. Janine Brown there at the First People's School Rally at the National Cycling Center in Hoover. The sport news now. The region will get to see Saturday's hurricane benefit match between the TNT Red Force and the Caribbean All-Star selection, which takes place at the Oval here in Port of Spain. But one man who expressed his appreciation to the government of Trinidad and Tobago for opening its schools to people from his native Dominica is former Combined Islands opener Lockhart Sebastian, who made an impassioned plea for help and a heartfelt thank you this way.
And Derek will tell you I face people like Michael Holden, Dow, Patrick Patterson, Andy Roberts. These people bowl at 90 miles. But in those days you were saying that you were fighting for your life. But I'll tell you honestly, that was chicken feed compared to what we face in the night. Nobody, and I repeat, no human being supposed to go through that in the night, particularly between 10 and 2:30 in the night. Here you had winds at 200 miles per hour and you're just hoping, toilet, hoping for the best. Some people have virtually tie themselves so that the wind wouldn't blow them away. It was tough. It was tough, I tell you. And
hoping people turn out in their thousands to support the match, as every dollar garnered towards the relief effort will go a long way to help alleviate a very real problem that he says makes him weep every time he remembers those dark moments during the passing of Hurricane Maria.
I will not be there for the match because I have to go home. I can't run away. I have to go and face the music. And we'll not see the match because in Dominica now there's no internet, no TV. It's back to the old days where you're in darkness at nights, no running water. Some places wouldn't see electricity for years. It's just a tough life. I mean, how it's going to be repaired, I don't know. It's tough, man. It's a tough situation.
Well, some of this country's young budding gymnasts will get the opportunity of a lifetime when they represent TNT at the prestigious Pan American Clubs Cup competition in Cali, Colombia. The Big Five are Carissa Curtin, Adriana Husti, Amelia Awai, Sydney Charles and Zara Marie Glenn, who will get a real eye-opener at the event from November 27th to December 4th. The Tots and Tumblers club members will also receive world-class training at the event coordinated by the Pan American Gymnastic Union. Now, the program is designed to prepare and develop gifted athletes along the pathway to elite-level gymnastics, as these five have been identified as potentially capable of going on to represent TNT at the highest levels. The five are between the ages of 9 and 13 and will be accompanied by coaches Clifton McDowell and Michelle Frankland on the trip. Well, that's it for sport. And that's it for the CNews Report at noon. Remember, for up-to-date and breaking news throughout the day, you can visit the CNews website at ctvtt.com. I'm Stacey Ann Providence. Have yourself a good afternoon.